Let's see. Let's see what we can do in Kerbal Space Program. Should I do training? I feel like should do training. Getting started in basic construction. All right. I'm going to just start from the very beginning. I've never played this game. I've watched it a very small amount. All right. What do you want to put a satellite in orbit, make a transcontinental flight, or step onto the very surface of the moon? You're going to need to build yourself a ship. Okay. First, show you around the Kerbal Space Center, then take you to the vehicle assembly building. We'll cover adding and removing parts, what the parts do, how to change performance settings, and how to control staging. You'll have a craft fit for a quick hop from the launch pad. At each step, I will lock out all controls other than the ones you need for that step. If you still manage to mess up, you can press the back button to go back and fix things. Okay. If pay 5 quid for a sub, how much of that do you get? Oh, I get half of it. I think it's 250 to the streamer, 250 to Twitch, I'm pretty sure. We are now at the Kerbal Space Center. I'll give you a quick rundown on how to get around. Home to the pinnacle of Kerbal Endeavor. Use facilities here. You'll be able to manage your space program, create rockets, track your Kerbal explorers, find exciting uses for explosive substances, and hire more Kerbals. Find out more. You can hover over your mouse. Okay. Vehicle assembly building, where spacecraft are designed and built, where before being moved over to the launch pad, and they are launched. Tracking station. All ongoing missions can be viewed and focused. Landed craft can be recovered from here. R&D. Research technologies can be viewed. Astronaut complex contains the living and recreation spaces for all our crew members. Okay, and recruit new members. Okay. Hangar allows construction of spacecraft designed to launch from the runway. Ah, runway. Long flat surfaces to reach takeoff speed. Conceivably, such aircraft could even land on it. Okay. Administration building. Okay. Cool. That's not very good. Well, if you do the higher tiers, I think that's when the streamer gets more of it. So if you like a tier 2, oh, am I supposed to click on these things? If you do like a tier 2, then I think Twitch takes the same amount, but then the streamer gets more. So that's how, if you really want to donate the stream but don't want to give anything to Twitch, you need to do just an actual donation. So what you see in the middle of the screen is the construction area. This is where parts are placed and your craft is constructed. On the left side of the screen is a parts toolbox. It will show all the parts you have available in each of the different categories. Okay. Okay, cool. Pods, fuel tanks, engines, command and control, structural coupling, payload, aerodynamics, ground, thermal, electrical, communications, science, utility. You know what? I think I remember seeing a YouTube video where a guy built, or a person, I don't know if it was a guy, a person built a Robotech robot plane transformer type thing that actually flew. If you want your craft to be controllable, you need a command module. It's best to make that at the first part you place. It contains some plucky Kerbal crew or an automated pilot mechanism. As we're starting, there's only one choice: go to the pods. Okay. Okay. After at least one part is placed, you can look around with the following controls. If you'd like, how do I? Oh, okay. Can I? Ah, here we go. I can right click. Okay, cool. If you'd like your pilot to be able to make more than one flight here, you'll have to return safely to the ground or water. Parachutes are a simple way to make sure that happens, and be found on utility. Okay. You can view the details of available parts by hovering over them. Mass 0.1 tons, tolerance 12 meters second, impact. Wow, I'm not going to know like any of the numbers for this. It's kind of getting late, so you're going to say goodnight for now. Happy birthday again. Thanks, Gillionaire. I will see you later, my friend. All right, move to the top of the command pod. All right, did that. Some parts, like our parachute, have configurable options. To see these, we need to right-click on the parachute. Okay. The parachute, you'll see that we can adjust our altitude and atmospheric pressure at which to open. That setting can be quite useful on distant worlds. For now, let's check that the opening height is at least 1,000 meters, because safety is the Kerbal way. Minimum pressure, move it to a bit to the right to 0.2. Okay, 0.2. There we go. Prevents the chute from activating until the atmospheric pressure is above the configured value. 0.2 is about 9 kilometers in altitude, so even if you stage early, an armed parachute will wait until they activate. Hide these options. Okay, interesting. I don't know if I'm going to ever know these numbers. Something to make us go. Click on the engines. All right. Grab one and connect to the bottom of the pod. You may need to zoom or move to be able to activate. Okay. How do I close this? Right-click that again. There we go. Grab one, connect to the bottom. You may need to zoom or move to be able to do that. What? Is this an engine? That's an engine, right? I'm gonna move around. I feel like the moving here is a little funky. Like, I want to zoom in, but I'm moving up. Connected to the bottom of the pod. Oh, okay, so it's this little thing here. How do I get it to go on there? You're inside. I want you to go to this thing. How do I move forward and backwards? I'm confused. Why won't this connect? Move, rotate. To zoom, hold shift and use scroll wheel. Thank you. Thank you. I don't think it told me that. Okay. I can't get my cursor to go right where that thing wants me to put it, I feel like. That's the parachute? Did I take the parachute off? Holy crap, you're right, I did. I thought I grabbed... Crap, well now my parachute's gone. And it won't let me... It was utility, it won't let me do it. Okay, great. There it goes. Okay, well, I got rid of the parachute. Come on. Oh my god, just... I feel like this is really poorly done, the way this moves. Oh, jeez. I'm sure other people have complained about it, but that just does not feel good, the way you move around this thing. I wish I could W, A, S, and D this, so I could move forward, backwards, and stuff with A, W, A, S, and D. Alright. Okay, I did it. Now... Do I have to? It won't let me do it now that I can't. Now that I don't have a parachute on it, I feel like I probably have to back to parachute. There we go. Okay, there we go. Why can't I next? Jesus. You get used to it eventually? Okay. The engine is on the left. Well, I got the engine. I got the engine and I've placed it. Why can't I hit next? Do I need to reconfigure this thing again? 0.2. Okay. It won't let me hit next now. I'm so confused. Do I have to... Why won't it let me go to the next thing? Okay. Jesus. Come on. Alright. For a video game, this is seeming like it's pretty poorly coded and stuff. So, it would be nice if I could... If it would let me do more stuff here. Okay. Adding a parachute. Okay. Do this. 0.2. Next. See, it wouldn't let me do that before. Seems like it's pretty poorly designed. At least the whatchamacallit, the tutorial. Next. Okay. Nice finally. Never mind, it's gone. What? Okay. I forgot you're just starting out. You're not a famous rocket scientist. To make that craft survivable, you have to be better at rocket science than me. The problem with that craft is that this solid rocket is too powerful for the payload. It will either burn up on ascent from going too fast or burn up coming back down. And if you survive that, the craft's mass will cause it to fall too fast for the parachute to operate properly. You hit the service work and stop you. Promise to teach you how to change that to make it work later, but for now, let's continue. At least this way I got to tell you about the removing parts. Pick up the back thumper and either drop it back over the parts toolbar or press delete. Is that this thing? Is this the back thumper? I assume that's the engine it's talking about. Delete. Okay. Testing if badge is working. I see your badge. I see a bit badge anyway. Alright, so let's add the solid motor. That's a better match for the ship of this size. At the start of your career, you will have what I consider rubbish parts. The motor is a converted trash can. It does have enough oomph to get this little craft moving skyward, and quickly as you progress, you will be able to unlock more engines. Okay. RT5 Flea engine. Okay. There we go. But the simplest survivable craft possible. We could go launch this right now, but it might be safe to explain one other thing first. Bottom right, you'll see the staging stick. Yeah, I saw this stuff. Box with the number 0 and icons for the parachute and engine in it. This stack shows us which parts will be activated as we stage our rocket. Okay. What this shows is that when we activate the next stage, both the engine and the parachute will be triggered. While it could be considered funny to open the chute and fire the motor at the same time, it's not going to give you much of a flight. Fix this when you separate the engine and chute into 2 stages. If you mouse over the 0 stage, you'll see a plus and minus appear. Click the plus button to add a new stage. If you add too many, click the minus button. Make sure you have precisely 2 stages. Is 0 a stage or not? I think I have 2 stages there. Important to note the stages activate from the highest number and then count down. First stage will be 1. Okay. Second will be 0. Drag the engines from 0 to 1. Okay. There we go. We now have a safe, relatively safe craft ready to go. Let's make sure that if we need this design, we don't have to build all from scratch. At the top of the screen, you will see this name for our craft. So I guess I named this thing. Ship description. Noob. Ship 2019. Oh, well, okay. Noobtopia. Okay, there we go. Alright. We're happy with the name. Click on the save icon on the top right. Save. Okay. 0 is a stage. Okay, good. Feel free to play around with the parts and techniques I've shown you, and when you're ready to continue, press the red button in the upper right exit. Okay, I don't think I want to mess with anything else right now. Can I go to launch now? Can't launch. Okay, so that's how to build a ship. Basic flight. Let's learn. Let's learn how to fly this thing. Okay. Here's our little noob 2019 ship. Basics of piloting. I trust you've already checked the basic instruction tutorial. Yes, today we'll do a run through of all the important controls. Our little hopper may not have all of them, but we'll do a run through once and see how it flies. Okay. Flying a spacecraft is all about being in control of a generally very chaotic situation. As a pilot, your main flight controls will affect the pitch, yaw, and roll. Let's look at those first. To help you visualize, we've taken a holiday snap of the hopper below. Yaw is what? Left and right. Roll is spinning. Pitch is up and down, I guess. Okay. Control using W, A, S, and D, Q, and E. Okay, so W and S, A and D, Q and E. Okay. Try it now. Notice the indicator on the lower left side move. Ah, okay. Yaw, pitch, and roll. Cool. Throttle plus pitch, yaw, and roll are the main controls only to master for a successful crash-free flight. We'll skip over the throttle control for now, as this vessel has no need for it. Don't worry, I'll explain another time. Okay, remember, all these controls have a limited amount of effectiveness, so bigger, heavier ships will probably respond much more sluggishly. Keep in mind that as stages are separated from the ship, it will become lighter, and this will usually mean easier to control. Okay. All the planning put in the staging sequence of your ship comes into play. From launch to the final deployment, you can control the activation of several of the ship's parts by activating stages. Space is a launch, activate, next stage, okay? Lower left corner, stage. So these are my stages. So we haven't launched yet. It's showing the first stage is active. Okay. I have your staging controls locked from now, so the stage indicator is glowing purple. Oh, okay. One more thing on staging. If the staging setup is causing strife or you change your mind about something, you can edit the stage sequence on the flight. No need to go back to the assembly facility. Okay. Know how your ship's oriented, where it's going. Know the ship's altitude and velocity vector. These aren't always the same direction, and as your skills improve, you should pick up on these. Most of the screen is called the nav ball. This device sums up most of the critical information needed for a proper death-free flight. Okay. See the ship's nose in relation to the horizon. When you're not pointing straight up, it is easily visible as a line between blue sky and the brown ground, as well as its heading. So we're looking straight up into the sky right now. Okay. Top center, you have your altimeter, vertical speed indicator, and atmospheric gauges. God, this is crazy, man. Okay. So I guess we're 74 meters above sea level right now is what that means. Okay, yeah. This means the actual surface may be much closer, so watch out for ground when landing. Your vertical speed indicator shows how quickly your altitude is changing. So that's this. While launching, it's considered best to keep this gauge pointing up. Atmosphere gauge indicates how deep the ship is in a planet's atmosphere. This helps you know if the ship is high enough for orbiting without losing speed to your air resistance, or judge how effective wings and control surfaces will be. Okay, staging stack, you can see the indicator for your parachute. This indicator shows when the chute will be activated by staging, but the background will also change color to indicate when it is safe to stage the parachute. The foreground will change color depending on the parachute state. Note that by default, parachutes will not deploy when unsafe, even if you stage them. Left 3 shows safety: safe, risky, unsafe. Chute is unstaged, white in the left 3. The right 3 show after staging: armed, deployed, and cut, shredded. Okay. All right, so green is good, I guess. Okay, anytime you press escape to pause the game. In pause menu, you can restart the flight or end this tutorial. Okay. All right. Our hopper has only a solid rocket motor, so there's no throttle control. That's why we didn't review. Okay. Space. Oh, okay, okay. And I can spin. Okay. Can I turn my view? Okay. All right. Try pressing some of the controls. Let's keep an eye on the parachute icon on the staging list that shows how safe the current deployment is. Once it goes red, it won't deploy until it's clear again. Okay. All right, so I guess we're just going to go until we're out of fuel. Okay. So we're currently on this stage right now. Are we still going up? Are we going to go in orbit? Oh. Okay, let's go down. Oh, crap. How do I... Oh, my God, I'm in an uncontrolled spin. How do I fix that? Oh, my God. You're passing up a popsis. Your speed is low enough that it's safe to stage again to deploy the parachute. Do so now before you speed up again and hit the surface. Deploy. Okay, do I deploy the parachute now? Now time to wait to get low enough and slow down enough for it to deploy. Okay. Is it deployed? It's not like doing the thing. Ran's on gimbal lock. I don't know what that means. So I guess we're deployed. Are we safe? That parachute does not look effective. What's my speed? Looks pretty fast. I feel like we're gonna crash pretty hardcore here. Is that what the parachute is supposed to look like? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Oh, my orientation was all screwed up, I think. Hey, I think we lived. No problem, Houston, no problem. Can I still spin? I can still spin. And I can still do my pitch and yaw here. Speed up timer on left. How do I do it? I don't know how to actually do it. Warp? I don't know. It won't let me click on that. Maybe it's not available right now. Cannot warp time in this scenario. Oh, okay. Hey, you survived your first quick flight. When you're landed or splashed, you can point the mouse just above the altimeter and click the recover button. Okay. You've also unlocked the crew hatch, so if you feel like going out for a walk or swimming, you can click the extra vehicular activity button that will pop up when your mouse over the portion of the Kerbal you want to take for a walk. This concludes today's lesson. Space Center. Okay. Click arrows. Yeah, the arrows won't let me click because it doesn't let us do it in this one. Okay. Oh. Can I walk out here? Hey, I can. All right, I got a swimming Kerbal. You are very slow. Okay, all right. All right, cool. We flew and didn't die. Okay, that's basic flight. Very basic. Okay, what do we got next? Intermediate construction. Presented by famous rocket scientist Werner von Kerman. Kermit? Why are they Kermit? Why do they have the name of Kermit the Frog? Kermit the Frog. All right. I wish this was Kermit the Frog telling me things. Last construction tutorial, we covered how to build a simple hopper. This tutorial will expand your knowledge and some of the more useful features. Okay. Start with a craft we built in the basic construction tutorial. This one's just called hopper. Saves a little bit of time. So, open button in the top right corner. Okay. Okay. And then remove its RT5 motor. Okay. Delete. Okay. If you delete the craft file somehow, close the load dialog, open again, it will craft you back. Okay. Unlike last time, we won't be bringing the whole vessel back, so we can change our parachute stats from what we used before. Right-click on the parachute. Verify it's set to 1,000 meters. But also set the minimum pressure slider all the way to the right. Okay. That corresponds to an altitude of Kerbin of about 2 kilometers and means a much shorter time hanging around during descent. Okay. Let's change the name of our craft in the description if you want. So we'll still have our trash can special for later on. Okay. Noob sickle. Okay. For this craft, we're going to give the ship some additional support purpose by attaching a science experiment. We can run these experiments during our travels and get valuable science data. A number of science experiments to be performed. At the moment, we only have the mystery goo containment unit available. Science tab. What does this do? Mystery goo, TM. This unit was something one of our engineers came upon while dumpster diving. Researching alternative applications for existing technologies. Sealed container which appears to be filled with strange-looking substance. We couldn't reach in or break the canister open, but watching how the goo behaves when subjected to different situations could be very educational. Okay. When we pick up the part, you'll see it's designed to attach the sides of other parts. If we attach only one of these, then during flight, our craft will be unbalanced. One way to solve this is to add an extra goo container on the opposite side. Luckily, we have a symmetry tool. These buttons control symmetry. Okay. Be found in the lower left of the screen. Symmetry. Okay. Toggle snap. Okay. Control symmetry and angle snapping can be found in the lower. Press the symmetry button or the X key to cycle through the available symmetry modes. Ah, okay. Cool. Set this to 2x and then pick up and place a mystery goo containment. What's 2x? How do I know which one's 2x? Okay. Oh, okay. So I only want 2 of them, I think, is what it's telling me. There we go. So I think if we do this, near the top, you notice the second one has been placed opposite the first by the symmetry tool. Okay, so let's do like this, I guess. Okay. If you had already placed the lone canister, pick it up, make sure symmetry is set correctly. Okay. Near the nose. Hopefully that's close enough to the nose. If we had too many more parts here, the craft we are making will be too heavy to survive re-entry. So we will need to add a decoupler below the pod. Decouplers can be found in the coupling tab. Let us split the craft when we no longer need the lower parts. We won't be able to recover the discarded parts, but at least our craft will survive. Decouplers can be used in many ways, but for now, let's just add one of these to the bottom of the pod. Okay. Coupling. Grab a TD12 and place it. Stacked decouplers have arrows. The arrows show which side is the side that decouples. Make sure you decouple arrows pointing up towards the pod. It will be by default. I wonder how you would swap that. Button right next to symmetry tool controls snapping. Makes things look cleaner. Makes it easier to place things. So is that snapping into place now? Like if I want it to be on this little white thing here. Okay. You'll recall, I hope, that in the previous tutorial we had to adjust the staging stack when we added the engines to our earlier rocket. When you add a decoupler, the extra stage is automatically added to the stack so that any new parts below the decoupler won't be staged at the same time as those above it. You can, of course, still move these around, but hopefully this will save you some time, okay? So that means this decoupler is now going to happen before the parachute. Liquid propellant rocket engine. Unlike solid rockets, these engines don't carry their own propellants with them, so we need to add some fuel tanks. Go to the fuel tanks tab. Still using these early parts, so there are only FLT 100s available. This is another area like engines where advancement brings bigger and better parts. We're going to need 5 of these tanks to get us to space. Before you grab 5 tanks from the part toolbox, let's give you another tip, because efficiency is my middle name. Once you place the first tank on the rocket, you can duplicate that by holding the left Alt key and clicking on the tank. Do this on the bottom tank a few times, you'll get 5 of these attached, okay? So we go Alt, click. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Cool. Starting to look like a rocket. Good. Switch over to the engines tab. The swivel engine you see here is obviously different from the flea we used before. This is a liquid engine. It needs and burns both liquid fuel and oxidizer. Funnily enough, that's what we just added to the rocket. Attach the swivel to the bottom. Keep an eye on the staging stack to see how it changes. Okay. So it'll burn the fuel, and then when we do the stage, it'll decouple that once we use up all our fuel, I think is how that works. It's different from the flea. Okay. We're almost there, and you're doing fine. Maybe not as speedily as someone of my caliber. Great. Last thing we're going to need is to give this rocket a little better stability, so it keeps going the way we want it to go. We will achieve this by adding some fins near the bottom of the rocket. Fins can be found in aerodynamics. Aerodynamics. Set the symmetry to 4x so we place them on both axes. Also, turn on angle snap. Okay, that's what we have. So it's round and angle. Okay. And we want to do 4x. What was it? The X? What was the button? X? There we go. Cool. Let's to make it symmetrical with our other parts up here. Drop a basic fan on the last rocket's tank. You will see the 3 other parts of place. Yep, cool. Now a rocket that will let us reach for the stars. I said reach for, as is a basic rocket which can achieve orbit. But re-entry will also be basic. You've done a great job building a basic hopper. Feel free to hang around a bit and try your hand. Okay. Are we going to launch this guy? Okay. Time to launch this guy. This rocket looks really tiny on this giant launch pad. Did I need to change my stages? I don't think so. Let's go. Space goes, right? Oh, I just went through my stages. Okay. Okay. Apparently I didn't do that right. Revert flight to launch. How do you actually launch it? I thought I was just supposed to do this. You didn't throttle up first. Oh, they didn't teach me about throttle, though. So I don't know what throttle is. I don't know if I can do the throttle yet, if it's not. Okay. Well, I guess I need to quit to main menu to show how to do that. It's shift? Okay. Well, let's do the next training. They'll probably teach me how to do that. Suborbital flight. Shift and control. Okay. I'm guessing it'll let me launch this ship in this one. Okay, here we go. All right. First Kerbal in space. Control to discuss. Yep. Mission A is to make a short suborbital, less than orbital flight over the water to the east. It's a nice arcing path that ensures a gentle survival reentry. Straight up and straight down. It's not so good for survival. I've set up the pink target indicator on the nav ball as aim point, but do note that this is not the case for normal missions. Starting with the noise playing straight up on launch pad or 9 degrees of elevation from the eastern horizon. Okay. Tilt east, 8 degrees on the nav ball. Okay. So that's like your flight plan, I guess. This new craft has liquid fuel engines, meaning we can use a throttle. So left shift is throttle up. Okay. Left control, throttle down. Z is max. X is cutoff. Okay. Okay. SAS stands for Stability Augmentation System, although Kerbal astronauts usually refer to it as Sickness Avoidance Scheme. Okay. Try to stop the ship from spinning around using the computer-controlled auto torque drive compensator technology. Simple in this mode, it will keep the ship aligned with the orientation it has when you turn SAS on. It can be activated by holding down the F key, and it can be toggled by pressing the T key. Okay. If you have problems following the maneuvers, once you enable SAS and lift off, you can click the small red button to the left of the nav ball. As a miniature target indicator. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Cause the SAS to follow the target indicator and fly for you. Okay. Bit too much engine, so we're going to throttle down for launch. Set your throttle to 2/3. So what was that? Shift. Right there. Also turn on SAS. It will keep you pointed where you want to be pointed. Okay, so that's too high. Okay, 2/3 right there. During this lesson, some of the information is quite detailed. It could take a while to read. As it's a short suborbital hop, I don't want you to miss anything. I will place a warning at the top of the pages. You might want to pause the game to read. Okay. All right. Anytime you can escape to pause. Target marker on the nav ball. Double click your throttle to set it to 2/3. Double click. What? Double check. Okay, it is 2/3. All right, here we go. Wait for, now's the time to start turning. Okay. Hold the target marker to 80 degrees by the time you reach 150 meters. Get ready to turn further. Oh, turn too far. Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do without this purple thing, that's for sure. Aiming to the 70-degree pitch line, you can follow the marker as it moves here. You should be able to let SAS keep the craft steady for a while as we accelerate further. Go ahead and throttle up to full power. Full power. Really cooking now. I might start to see some heat effects. But we'll clear the atmosphere if it gets too hot. Before it gets too hot. Ah, crap, I meant to hit space. Boarding detailed info. And I just... crap. Okay, I need to revert. Hold on a second. Warning, space! Don't hit space. Warning, don't hit space. Okay, crap. RIP, rest in peace. Okay, let me just get through all this. Okay, let me throttle up to 2/3. At T. Here we go. Okay. God, why do I have to make space the most important thing? I'm trying to read and do controls all at the same time. All right, turn a little more. Wait, I think I'm good. 70-degree pitch. Where's the degrees for the pitch? I don't... Is that right there? That's 70 right there? Throttle up to full power. Don't forget to add a glade beam on next desing? Okay, I will. Alright, here's warning. What does it say? Great work. You've succeeded in getting your ship on a trajectory bound for space. I've now set your target indicator to align with your velocity vector. That will minimize drag by turning the smallest side of the vehicle into the airflow. Somewhere around here, you will see the nav ball speed indicator auto switch from surface to orbit, accompanied by the speed number jumping. Go ahead and switch it back to surface mode by clicking on it until it says surface again. Surface, okay. You might have noticed some flickering flames near the end of our burn there, which is due to the high speed of your craft. Normally our ascent would be a little slower, but I'm sure my friend Werner has helped you build a ship that can withstand this heat. To have a look at your trajectory, you can switch to the map and have a look at your projected path. Okay. Now that we're coasting, we've got a little time to chat. Once you clear the atmosphere, we'll go over what you can do in space. Design. Oh, okay. Can't see the shields on the ship. I take you're flying the Stealth B right here. This is more of the Fed C. We got an artillery somewhere. Oh, wow. It's so peaceful out here. So peaceful. Oh my god, I'm in space, guys. Highest point in our current projected path is Apoapsis. Apoapsis. We're in orbit. We're supposed to go back to surface, I think it said. What is this number telling us? We should be getting further from the surface, not closer, right? Why is this number going down? While we float up here beyond the atmosphere, I'll quickly tell you about a couple things you can do. With an advanced enough astronaut complex, we can train our Kerbals to be able to spacewalk, although we won't be doing that on this flight. Also, when we're carrying science devices like our goo containers, we can perform experiments. Feel free to play with the goo canisters now by right-clicking on them. I'll let you know when it's time for the next phase. Okay, I can right-click on my goo containers. Observe mystery goo. The goo seems to have clumped into a sphere. It also appears to become brittle. Transmit data. Oh, cancel. Keep experiment. Okay. Observe mystery goo. Mystery goo. Clumped into a sphere. Am I supposed to keep... I wonder if I'm supposed to... transmit the data. 0. Oh, there's no science value for it yet, so I don't want to do that. Detailed info. Okay. As we near the edge of the atmosphere again, it's time to reorient the pod to get ready for re-entry. We're only going to re-enter with the pod and shoot in goo canisters, but we're not going to decouple yet. In real missions, it's best to keep your upper stage around until the last moment. You never know when you might need it. Best to re-enter bottom first, and since we ascended at about 70 degrees, we'll re-enter negative 70 degrees. Means you want to aim the top of the capsule at the 70-degree pitch line, but the opposite heading. Is that a heading of 270 on the nav ball and 70 degrees pitch? And I place the target marker to help you see where this lies. Okay. Turn SAS off, change your altitude, and then turn it back on again. Okay. Let me get rid of this. So I think I need to turn this around like this. Is this right? Nice. Okay. Now hold steady on your new altitude and get ready to couple the stage. Transmitting data is only worth a fraction of the actual science value of the experiment. If you keep the data, you only get the science when you land safely. So it's if you don't think you're going to land safely that you detach it, it sounds like. Or that you transmit. This is cool, man. This is friggin' sweet. Look at space. Is that the moon? I want to fly to the moon. I totally want to fly to the moon. Transmitting costs a lot of power too, so not a great idea until you get solar panels. Okay, cool. Hey, what's up, Johnny Othan? One of your favorite games? Cool. I've never played it, so I'm doing the training right now. Look at this guy. I'm so happy. I love space. I can't believe I'm here. Where'd my pink thing go? Now it's time to get rid of the booster. Stage to discard the unneeded parts. Okay. Space. With your pod oriented this way, drag. Okay, hold on a sec. Detailed info. We are now re-entering Kerbin's atmosphere. Make sure to keep all hands and feet inside the pod at all times. Don't miss the flames. Werner is a world-famous rocket scientist. Okay, last time we watched the parachute icon to wait for the right time to open the chute. This time we're going to do something a little different. Remember in the construction tutorial where we designed this vessel, you set the chute to not semi-deploy until 0.75 atmospheres. That means the sheet won't perform the first of its 2 deployment steps until then, even if you activate it by staging now. On Kerbin, 0.75 atmosphere means 2,000 meters altitude above sea level. Craft should be traveling slowly enough by then that she will survive deployment. So let's take the bold step of arming the chute now and let the smarts in there pop at the right time. Okay. So I could just do the stage now. And it should automatically... Oh. Bye-bye thing. It should automatically deploy. Oh, I need to... Oh, crap. I need to not turn. I need to keep this 70 degrees here. Oh, wow. It's a lot more agile. SAS. There we go. SAS. Without SAS, that's harder to control. A lot of overlap between Factorio and KSP players. Oh, that makes sense. Both very technical games. I love his face. Why is your face like that? View. Oh, I can see. Holy crap, I can control from inside here? Oh, that's cool. You're curious one, aren't you? The IVA button over each crew member's porch will let you see the ship from some. Now in this mode, your flight UI has less instruments. Internal view, right-clicking will toggle between mouse look and interact mode, so you can look around without having to hold the right mouse button down. Oh, okay. V key, multiple crew. Okay. Always set your chute to not actually semi-deploy. We do need to ensure that the opening height is correct. You can even adjust these parameters during flight. So right-click on the parachute now and check their sliders. Don't touch the pressure slider. Make sure the full deploy altitude is no less than 1,000 meters. You will not have enough time to slow down. Once you're satisfied, just hang on to about 2 kilometers, and watch the parachute. We should look at the bottom of the capsule. Note that you do not have a heat shield. You don't need one because it's such a general flight. Actually, a heat shield would make things more dangerous. So I need to right-click. Okay. So I'm supposed to look and see the fire or something. 2K. How do I see? Oh, here it is. Okay, I keep looking at this. So at 2K is when it should deploy. This 1.7, right? This is the old command pod. Sometimes I don't update the parts in the tutorial ships. Oh, I don't know. This is just what I downloaded. And okay, here we go. Here we go. Sweet. Joy, leisurely float down to the surface. Nice. Mods you can get to add enough functionality to command pods to fly entire missions from there. When you start flying on your own, you generally don't want to mess with the default parachute settings. Increasing the minimum pressure gets you killed if you enter over mountains. Ah, okay. Can I go faster now? Cannot time warp in this scenario. Okay. But I can spin. Woo! Whoa. Does he get sick when I do that? Oh, it does spin and show the light changing. That's cool. 100 meters above the surface. I don't know meters very well. So, close to about 100 yards, a little more than 100 yards. Can I look at this from the top here? Okay. All right, nice. So I don't know, is the yellow thing like your projected or your planned flight path or something? Congratulations on completing and surviving your first real mission. You've managed to launch, control your vessel in space, orient yourself correctly, and land safely. That's quite an achievement. Be sure to check out the other tutorials. Going for orbit is really exciting. Okay, I'm going to do all the tutorials. I feel like I need to do all the tutorials here. Okay. It seems like a really complicated game that you don't want to skip training on. 2 yellow circles. Prograde is the direction you're moving. Retrograde is opposite that. Okay. Okay, training. All right, so that was suborbital flight, advanced construction. Covers how to design a craft that can orbit, curb, and return safely. Cool, man. This game's crazy, man. This game is crazy. All right, delay some important work today to fit this in. Pay attention. Okay. I love how they have to have their own lives that they got to talk about. Could escape atmosphere, didn't have enough oomph to escape for long. This time around, we'll cover more advanced rocket design concepts, multiple stages and boosters, extra parts like RCS and solar panels. You'll want these if you spend more than a few minutes in orbit. This craft is capable of sent to orbit, orbital operations, and a safe return to Kerbal. You can test it out in the Go for Orbit tutorial, which will teach you how to make use of it all. Tutorial is pretty finicky. Lots more parts available this time. That's because an orbit cable craft is much more complex than the little puddle jumper. Main principles are the same, so I hope you remember what I taught you. Okay. Only have 1 pod available, so go ahead and select it. If you select the wrong part, okay, 1 pod. Parachute and place it. That was utility. Just parachute by right-clicking. When the chute's minimum pressure 0.75, you're satisfied. Okay. If you get stuck, read it very carefully. Okay. Upper stage. Upper stage will finish placing the pod in orbit, and once there, provides RCS steering thrusters and electricity for the pod. Also provide all maneuvering capability in orbit, including re-entry burns. It's going to consist of a decoupler, an RCS fuel tank, a liquid fuel tank, 4 RCS thrusters, 4 solar panels, 4 batteries, and an efficient upper stage engine. Wow, okay. Stack decoupler below the pod, let's discard. Okay, that's coupling. Pointing up. Okay. The arrows are pointing down, that's not good. Detach it, then use WAS and D to rotate it. Okay. Okay. Next, we'll add an RCS tank. RCS stands for Reaction Control System. This fuel will help us with fine maneuvers. Okay, tanks. So we want the FLR25. This guy. Under the decoupler. All right. Craft is not going to need all the monopropellant in the tank, so to save some weight, right-click to get the parts options and move the slider down to 96 units. Monopropellant is called that because while large rocket engines use 2 propellants, RCS uses a single propellant. Generally less efficient, but is good for small velocity changes in any direction. It can be used to rotate the craft as well as move it. Okay, so we want 96 units, he said. There we go. I need multiple liquid fuel tanks in the stage to get the right amount for the upper stage engine. We need an extra tank to offset the weight of the RCS. Add a tiny rocket propellant tank, FLT100. And then add a medium one below it. Okay. Man, if I had to come up with all this on my own, I feel like this would be crazy to know all this stuff. For the main parts of this upper stage, we'll add an engine. The Terrier engine produces almost no thrust at sea level air pressure, but is highly efficient in space. This makes a good choice for an upper stage since the engine will not be activated until the rocket has reached a condition where this will work well. If you select the wrong engine, you can always throw it. So, LV909 Terrier. Okay. Okay. It's pretty well assembled upper stage, if I do say so myself. Okay. It'll get you to orbit if you put enough rocket under it. While we leave this reasonably simple vessel here, let's explore one of the other useful tools we have available. To make sure that your ship flies controllably, some parts need to be placed carefully around a point inside the ship called the center of mass. The COM is a spot where the mass on one side is balanced with the mass on the other side. Thrust applied through the COM will cause the ship to move without unwanted rotation, while thrust properly applied around the COM will cause the ship to rotate without moving. This makes the COM such a useful and important thing that we added a tool so the assembly building can show it to you with a marker. Let's have a look at how the indicator works. Click on the COM indicator toggle. Let's see, where is that? Is that this? Center of mass overlay. Okay. Okay, so that shows you where the center of mass is. Okay. Adjust the fuel levels in some of the tanks and see how that affects the center of mass. Right-click on each of the fuel tanks and drag the fuel propellant levels down to 0. So, fuel levels in the tanks. Don't touch the monopropellant levels. So, drag the fuel and oxidizer to 0. So that moves the center of mass up. During the flight vessel, COM will move in the same way as it burns its fuel until the tanks are empty. Interesting. Okay. Okay, cool. As you're doing this, you'll see that, okay. Do I need to put it? Okay, he wants me to put it all the way to 0 before it lets me do the next thing here. I believe. There we go. Now go ahead and refill the tanks. We can proceed to add some of the accessories to our stage. You'll transfer from either something that gets us in orbit to something that helps us once we're there. Okay. Okay. No COM is when the stage is full, and when it's empty, you have the information you need to place RCS thrusters. Moving the spaceship without rotating it is called translation. It's a useful kind of maneuver for several reasons, including docking to another craft. In order for translation with RCS to avoid unwanted rotation, you need to balance the thrusters around the COM so the net sum of forces is balanced right on this natural pivot point. For 2 equal sets of thrusters, each set should be equidistant from the COM. For a single set, they should be right around the COM itself. What makes this complicated is the COM changes during flight, as you just saw. Place the thrusters at a compromise point between the wet COM and the dry COM, so halfway between where it's got fuel and where it doesn't, I guess. RCS don't become available till fairly late. In the meantime, the reaction wheel compatibility built into your command pod will probably be enough for turning in space. Turn on angle snap to make aligning the thrusters part easier. So we have 4x energy, and then place 4 RV105 RCS thruster blocks. Thruster blocks. Are those engines? What are thruster blocks? Ah, here it is. I'm back building your first mission. Rocket and KSB, are we? Well, I'm still doing the tutorial. Still doing the tutorial. That's 3, so I want 4x here. Okay. And then place a set on the upper stage. The tiny rocket propellant tank is about the right place to attach these. The tiny rocket propellant tank. So, I think it's right about here. You can also use the offset gizmo to fine-tune the position. Make sure you turn angle snap off for reason now so that you want the fine adjustments for that. So moves up as we lose fuel, so I think... How do I want these oriented? I don't know which way I want them. You can hit space to reset the orientation. Oh, thank you. Alright, I think it's right about here is where it needs to go. Okay. Alright, I think that's about right. Lots of things on the craft use electric charge. In order to keep your batteries topped off, you will need a way of generating power, and how some engines generate electricity while they're running. But you don't want to keep your engine running in orbit. Your orbit will get all kinds of messed, and you'll run a propellant command pod with some batteries built into it. You can add more batteries. You can add solar panels. Okay. Switch to the electrical category now. And ensure we have angle snap turned on, and we're still in 4x symmetry mode. We use our part rotation skills to adjust the panels before placing them. Grab the OX stat solar panel. Bit strange though, isn't it? In weaponry we call them rockets when unguided and missiles when guided, but no matter how much steering and control a moon rocket may have, it feels weird to call it a missile unless it tend to blow up the moon. Okay. Hold it over the lower end of the fuel tanks and press A to rotate it. Go ahead and place a set of... Okay, between the batteries. Okay. Okay, let's line them up with these guys. How did I reset it? So we want it to be sideways like this, I think. Kind of like that. And then a set of batteries between them. Love the music, by the way. Okay. Looks good. We built a nice starter upper stage, which will do well for some orbital exploration. Now we need to work on getting up to orbit. We'll need our lower stage. Comparison to the upper stage is quite simple. Just a couple of tanks and engine. That won't be enough alone. We'll add some boosters too. TD stack decoupler on the bottom of the Terrier. Okay. Stack decoupler. Oh, okay. It surrounds it. Cool. Do this during our ascent to discard the empty parts of the vessel below, and notice how when you add the decoupler, a fairing is placed around the engine. Okay. I was wondering about that. This will get jettisoned automatically when we stage the decoupler. Cool. I need to add the fuel tanks. Add 2 of the medium FL2400s. FLT400s. One. What was it? Alt click? Yeah, 2. Okay. For our lower stage, we need an engine that is a sustainer. That's an engine that burns from liftoff until well after the boosters separate. Let's get scientific for a second. Rocket engine performance is measured by specific impulse, and the ISP of an engine changes as the amount of atmospheric pressure around it changes. Just as the upper stage needed an engine that is good at the low air pressure of high altitudes, the lower stage will need boosters which are powerful at the higher air pressure of low altitude. Help carry the rocket through the transition from launch to upper stage. It will need a sustainer engine which usually sits between boosters and upper stage engines from a performance perspective, having a wide range in between the two. So add the big engine you see there, the LV-T45 swivel. Okay. LV-T45 swivel. At its default thrust level, the swivel is too powerful for the rocket we're creating, so we need to lower its thrust level. This isn't as good a solution as picking a smaller, lighter engine, but there are only so many options. Right-click the swivel, lower its thrust limiter to 65. Then only produce 65% of its full thrust potential, but will also run longer because it's only burning 65% as much fuel. Okay. 65. Okay. Now the core of your rocket completed, but as I said before, we'll also be adding boosters to help the sustainer engine get the rocket up and running. 2 boosters symmetrically so that we keep our craft balanced. To make sure we don't lug the useless dry mass of the boosters around after they burn out, we'll attach them using decouplers. Radial decouplers, they can sit beside our lower stage. Okay. TT. Okay, so this is the side decoupler, I think. This guy. 2x energy near the bottom of the lowest tank. Near the bottom of the lowest tank. Okay, so like right down here somewhere. Synergistic here. Let's go like on the side. Like there. Okay. And more boosters, something you often hear around the KSC, and now it's time to add some. Add a pair of RT10 hammer boosters to the decouplers. Okay. RT10 hammers. There we go. Is that on the decoupler? It's kind of hard to tell. Are you on the... I want you to go on the coupler. Can I do it from on top, maybe? Okay, there we go. There. Oh. Like that? How's that look? I feel like I want them to go down. Is there a way to adjust them down a little bit? If I do it this way, I guess. Alright, that looks pretty well lined up. Well, except that they're not lined up on the booster. They're on the decoupler. Oh, God. This is not working very well. How's that look? It's hard to get them lined up there. Aim the camera straight at the decoupler and put the mouse where the decoupler is, even if you can't see it. Okay. Okay, that looks good. Okay, that looks good. It's not exactly how I want it to be. Aim the camera straight at the decoupler. Let me try this one more time. Right at the decoupler there. But good. I want it to go down a bit. Right there. Okay. Grab the decoupler and reattach the subtree. Grab the decoupler. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Very cool. All right, well, I'll keep it there for now. It's not perfectly even, but I think that will work. Can't say you have played unmodded at KSP a lot. Wow, you play every game modded, it sounds like. Unlike liquid fuel engines, where you can adjust the throttle during flight, once you light an SRB, it burns out at constant thrust till it's out of fuel. Can, however, use the throttle limiter, as we did on the swivel, to set the constant thrust before we roll out to the launch pad. Right-click one of the SRBs and change the thrust limiter to 50. Do note that changing a tweakable value on one part will have the same change applied to its symmetry. Teach you how to make that pod and thumpercraft survivable. Well, this thrust adjusting is how that could be done, although you'd also have to put a decoupler on it. Okay. You can hit 2 to select the move tool. Okay, let's not do that though. Okay, right now the SRBs have flat pancake tops, which is simply not a good look. Oh, and bad aerodynamically. Let's fix it by adding nose cones. Aerodynamics. Cool. Nice. 3 is rotate. Okay, all right. I'll have to mess with that at some point. Let's add some fins too. Fins come in various sizes and styles. As we learned earlier, will help stabilize your craft. Since these fins are control surfaces, they also add some extra control authority when low in atmosphere. Add the AVR 4x symmetry near the bottom of the lowest fuel tank and the lowest stage, and make sure they don't intersect the decouplers and SRBs. If they do overlap, any flight will be interesting but exceptionally short. Okay. So we want 4x here. And we want to not run into these guys. Wait, why am I at 4x? There we go. Are they, is that, okay, now I want to try the move tool. How do I change? Okay, I don't want that. It's often easier to attach a part in some position or attention to the move or rotate it than getting the position rotating right before attaching it. Rotating the boosters ever so slightly to make the rocket spin out of control, tear itself apart is fun. How do I move this over this way a little bit? Crap. That's actually better right there. F, so if I press like 2, F, local, absolute, local, I don't know. Oh, okay, okay, interesting. Okay. Interesting, okay. Alright, I feel like that looks pretty good. Doesn't quite look fully attached there, but I think that will work. Maybe go back in one space there, like that. Hold shift to violate the normal distance limits. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, I feel like that. No, that doesn't look right. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think we'll go with that. Okay. Got all our components on our basic orbital rocket, but let's run through a few extra things before we can call it a day. Firstly, we should review the staging stack to check the order. It's lucky I've highlighted this for you because the SRBs are set to fire before the sustainer. That just won't do. You won't have enough thrust to get off the pad. Move the swivels staging icon down to the same stage as the SRBs. Swivels. Note that the automatically created staging sequence would work if we did not want the long burning sustainer to ignite at the same time as the high thrust boosters. Since we do, we have to adjust it manually. What is the swivel? Swivel is this guy. So we want to move this guy down same stage as the SRBs, which are these guys. Like this, I think. Okay. Finally pick up the pod and rotate it 90 degrees. This will rotate the ship not just in the VAB, but also its orientation when we go to the launch pad so that our desired flight heading of east be a matter of steering in the pitch. Pick up the pod and rotate it 90 degrees. Like that? Okay. Honestly, I was hoping you would go into this blind and then create a dinky rocket that deploys parachutes as it launches. I don't like being that bad at video games. I always make every effort to ensure our brave crew survive. Hopefully you'll make the same in your space program. Doesn't work out this way always. With that in mind, let's set up an abort action group for your craft for use in case of emergency. Note that in career mode, you have to upgrade the VAB in order to access action groups. Click on the turquoise action group button on the left of the toolbar. Turquoise action groups. This. Lets you assign the functions of one or more parts to a single specific key. Default action groups. Some custom ones activate the keyboard. Numbers of the order. Okay. Set up an action group. Click on the desired action key from the menu. Click the part you want to activate. We're going to set up the abort action group. It's triggered by pressing backspace or by clicking the big red abort button in the flight. First, click on the abort button. Abort. Now click on the decoupler right below the pod and add its decouple action to the group. On the decoupler right below the pod. Which decoupler? Click on each liquid engine in turn and assign their shutdown functions to the group. Oh my god, this is crazy. Click on the decoupler right below the pod. Your favorite is multi-stage rockets that drop their only control surfaces before exiting the lower atmosphere. How do I click on this? Do I do it here? I think it's this decoupler it's talking about. And add its decouple action to the group. I'm so confused what it's telling me to do right now. No. No. Cancel that. How do I get rid of this? Escape. Oh my god. I don't know how to cancel when I click on something. Decoupler. Okay. Decoupler. And add its decouple action to the group. Okay. I think that's what I was supposed to do. Click on each liquid engine in turn and assign their shutdown functions to the group. That's a fuel tank. Liquid engine. Where's the engine? Tank. Tank. Liquid engine shutdown function. Okay. Finally, click on each liquid engine in turn. How many liquid engines do I have? Fuel tank. Fuel tank. Fuel tank. Engine. Fuel tank. Fuel tank. Is this a liquid engine? Yes. Shut down. Finally, click one of the radial decouplers and assign decouple to the group. Radial decouplers. That's these guys, right? Yeah. Decouple. Okay. Now when you trigger the abort action in flight, the engines will shut down. The capsule will separate from the rest of the ship, and it should be safe to land by itself. Remember to deploy your parachute once it's safe, however. Okay. Wow, that's crazy. It's a tiny gray stripe with a dark gray triangle just below the pod. Alright, I think I got what it said to do. There you are. Rover, the rocket is ready to fly. It's been a long lesson. Give the new ship a name and save it. That's always a good practice. Alright. This is... the Fed... Oh, come on. Federation A. Noob ship. There we go. Oh. This, I won't actually get to keep that. Alright, great. We did it. Now, can I launch, or do I have to do the... I probably have to do the tutorial to launch it. You usually don't need to worry about an abort group. Why plan for failure? Am I right? That's loser talk. Alright, I think I'm going to leave here. Because I think there's a... I think this is a this is one where they'll give me a flight. There's a whole simulation for this. So training, go for orbit. This one right here. All right, here we go. The ship we built looks similar to what I made. Hopefully it's the same one. Actress, you've already checked the other flight tutorials. Okay. Plan here is to get our vessel safely in orbit. As with the orbital flight we did previously, we will follow a curved path to get to the point where we can circularize our orbit. Today's gravity turn will be much shallower than the path we followed previously. This is different from how the Kerbal pilots of old did it. They would head straight up and then hang a right as if their air was soup. We'll be turning early and smoothly, but don't turn too far. You might be mistaken for one of those low-flying turkeys. Place a target marker. Okay. So I'll also display some technical information. Throttle to max. Prepare to launch. Marker on the nav ball so you'll have something to follow. And this ship has been designed so that you don't need to worry about throttle control during the ascent. Yep. Let's go. If you want the pilot to fly the curve for you, you can enable SAS. Now let's just go. Let's do it. Oh man, that looks cool. Looks like a real rocket, man. Time to start pitching down. Follow that target marker. Oh, wrong way. This way. There we go. Oh, okay. Let's do SAS to help us. Don't worry about your throttle. You just need to pay attention to the target marker and the proper times of stage. I'll prompt you along the way. Yeah, without SAS, this is a lot more difficult, I feel like. Almost out of our fuel in the SRB, so get ready to eject them by staging. Okay. Hit space now. There goes our boosters. Keep following the target indicator. Get ready to stage again to discard the lower stage. So crazy. We built all that stuff down there just to throw it off right after launch. It's crazy. Seems stable enough. Seems pretty stable, yeah. Okay. Space, okay. Bye-bye. Oh, I feel so bad. I just made you. Shucks, something went wrong here. You're way off course. You need to be quick about following the instructions. I'm off course? Did I fail? I don't feel off course. I'm right. Why do you say I'm off course? I'm in orbit, aren't I? He was so disappointed. I didn't light my engine. What is that? How do I light my engine? They didn't tell me to do that or how to do that. Is my engine off? I need to stage again? Oh. Am I way too late to do that now? Stage again? I don't know what I'm doing now. I think I need to restart this one. Let me revert to launch. Let me try this one again. I thought I staged. Maybe I didn't change my throttle or something. Staging again would have put my parachute out. Oh god. Give me the SAS. It's so hard to do without SAS. Maybe if I had a real throttle thing instead of arrows, it would be a little easier, but... I feel like I wasn't that far off. I don't know why the guy gave up on me so bad. How do I... Can I see my fuel? Oh, crap. Whoa, it exploded! Okay. Or maybe that was just the explosion from the decouplers. Don't have to worry about throttle. You just need to stage twice in rapid succession for that one transition. Okay. I need to stage twice. Okay. Yeah. I don't think he told me to stage twice, which is what threw me off. Stage. Stage again. Okay. He did say stage again. I just didn't notice it. Survived through the first phase of the launch, and now we have a longer, more gentle burn. Switch to map mode. We can have a look at the trajectory of the rocket. Okay. Wow, so we can see when we actually get to a sustained orbit, I guess. If you hover over the Poapsis node on the map, you'll be able to see the estimated highest altitude on our future path. You can right-click on that marker to pin it so that it remains visible even when you move your mouse away. We need to keep burning along the path until we'll clear the atmosphere by a handy margin. We'll aim for 80 kilometers. Cut the engines once the apoapsis hits 80 kilometers. We'll cut it for you once it passes 81. Okay, so X when we hit 80K. Okay. So 80K, we hit X. I think he did tell you to stage again. There, zoom in a little. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, cool. Oh man, this is crazy. Is this how frickin' cell satellites get launched into space? Okay, I like this view better. And that's going to get us there. I've made sure the engine is shut off now. Why did he do that? Oh, was it for this to be 80K? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So I didn't shut it off because it was when this gets 80K. I thought it was our orbit or our altitude. You may notice your speed dropping a little as we coast. That's nothing to be concerned about. It's just gravity trying to bring us down and air trying to prevent our success. We'll beat it though. You're looking good. I'll keep an altitude display so you can track your progress ascending to your apoapsis. Yeah, I missed that. When my AP hits 80K, I missed that. I thought when I went here, I could still look at my apoapsis. I don't know how to say that word. Apoapsis? Apoapsis? I don't know how to say that. Shame that the tutorial shuts off the engine for you because learning when to do that is one of the most important parts of getting to orbit. Well, if I just understood how he described it, I would have not done it incorrectly. See your APPE by clicking the purple button in the bottom left. Okay. I don't know what periapsis is. Spacey music. Clear the atmosphere. We can warp ahead through time to get to the apoapsis more quickly. Important rocket scientists like us do not have time to waste. Press next when we're ready and we'll warp till it's time to make our next burn. Oh. All we need to do is accelerate some more so we fall past Kerbal, and that's basically when an orbit is falling and missing. Gravity pulling us to the center of Kerbal. We'll be traveling so fast we constantly miss. Rotate your craft to align with the prograde marker. Is the prograde marker the blue? Or is it the yellow? Apoapsis' highest point, perhaps this is lowest point. The one closest to your berry center. It is negatively relative to the planet's surface. It means you will hit the planet. I don't know which marker I'm going towards. I think it's the blue. It's time to throttle up, I'll tell you. Okay. Hail, hydrate, hail. Hit escape and go to settings real quick. Turn on advanced tweakables and enhanced burn time indicator. Enhanced tweakables. Enabled. And enhanced burn time indicator. Apply. Okay. Okay, it's telling me when to do the burn. Okay, cool. He'll tell me when to throttle it. Will I go to full? Whoa, whoa. Oh, okay, so I'm in orbit. Holy crap. Hopefully you can see the difference between this suborbital hop and this reaching orbit descent and just how far we turned. Notice how we designed our rocket to accelerate reasonably through the ascent. Didn't go straight to ludicrous speed. Overpowering the ship is a common rookie mistake. Alright. That's as far as I will be taking you today. We can catch up again in the Orbit 101 tutorial where I'll show you about orbits and adjusting them. To fly solar orbit, you can also try bringing Valentina home from this tutorial flight. You need to turn around 180 degrees and burn retrograde until your periapsis is less than 20 kilometers. Okay. So I'd have to turn all the way around to here and then burn, and that's how we'd get... I could start career science mode now, you think? I think I might do that. Oh, that's cool. It now shows our orbit. You need to raise your periapsis so that your orbit no longer intersects the atmosphere. You can do it earlier or later, but it's by far the most fuel efficient to do when close to the apoapsis. So if I do this, this will make it so that we're going to go back into orbit. And it does this weird flip over thing, I think, when we're... Oh. Well, that should do it right there, right? That would bring us back down. 30. You want to get your PE down to 30 to 40. What is PE? Here you can go in a lot steeper, but when you're returning from further away, you don't want to go straight at the planet. You need to hit the atmosphere. It will slow you down the rest. Okay. So what I did will... My PE is negative 312. Here, periapsis. And you said you want down to 30 to 40K. So I need to burn some more, it looks like, right? Is that going down? Oh, it's... I don't want to burn more. Do I want to turn around and do the other thing? Okay. My deorbit burn is way too strong, but it'll be fine. Well, let me see if I can correct it some. Let me try. So I want to get this down lower. Oh, I'm out of fuel. I just wasted some fuel is all. Okay. But this should get me back down to orbit, it sounds like. So now that I'm out of this fuel, I want to decouple, I guess, once... How long do you want to wait till you decouple? They said as late as possible. Should I decouple now or should I wait till I'm in the atmosphere? Decouple, arm to shoot, lock to prograde, and change the surface mode. Okay. So decouple. Arm to shoot. Lock to prograde. I don't know what that means, but I know I want to turn my ship around like this. I want to be like this. Is this what you mean, lock to retrograde? Did I arm to shoot? I think it's armed. You can click the retrograde button left of the nav ball. Okay. Okay. Here we go. We're coming back down. Click the nav ball where it says orbit to change the surface mode. Ah. Surface. Hit red buttons to left. OG nav ball to automatically lock things to prograde and retrograde. Okay. Okay, so it already changed itself automatically. Okay. Well, let's see if we survive this entry. My guy's got a happy face, so I feel like that's a good sign. All right, and I had this set, I think, right. Air stationary relative to the surface, so the retrograde direction is slightly different in orbit mode versus surface mode. Ah, okay. So we want to be retrograde in surface mode, but in orbit mode, it would be slightly different. It'd be dangerous to re-enter if you're not pointing directly into the wind. Okay. Yeah, this is crazy, man. Crazy. Wow, you can see the Milky Way. It's beautiful. All right, I think after we do this one, we're gonna try. Should I do scenarios? Just go to, is there like a campaign mode, or how does it work? If I want to just play the game, how can we warp here? Cannot warp time in this scenario, really. Escape settings turn ambient light boost up to 10%. Okay, yeah, it is kind of dark. Ambient light boost to... We'll do like that. Career mode, clearly the way to go now. Kerbal solar system is exactly 1/10 scale. That's cool. Science mode has a tech tree, but no objectives other than what you want to do. Career mode is science mode plus money and contracts. Okay. All right. All right. Looks like that worked. Okay. All right. Well, real quick, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the restroom real quick, and then we're going to start career mode, I think. Because I want to do science mode and learn some stuff. So while this finishes landing, I'm going to use the restroom real quick. When we come back, we're going to start a career in Kerbal Space program. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back in just a second, my friends.